And can we give me a second to please subscribe and please like, comment, share, all of that stuff. And as I try to pep myself up to do a more jolly, no, don't think I can get that, video. As you see from the title, this is a Too Good To Go, and this was from a veteran charity in South Shields, and they do the Too Good To Go bags. And from what I gather from the person who runs it, because I asked, because I was interested, yes, that's unusual that I was interested in anything, of how, why, when. They produced 7 Too Good To Go bags on a Monday, and I think it was 5 on a Thursday. They put them up onto the Too Good To Go site, and the money that they get from that, they use to pay their electricity. So, the stuff that I have, which is in my own bag, oh, this is my own bag that I had in my pocket at the time. If you take it Too Good To Go, normally state on their app that you should take your own carrier bag. That is always a good thought, because you never know what bag they might put things into, and if it might tear or do anything because they put it into a rubbishy bag. But I had my own bag with me. This is quite heavy, and as we said, this came from a South Shields veteran thing, which they help a number of veterans with food and that type of stuff, including freezer, breads, meats, and all of that type of stuff. So, from what I gather, today, all the items that made up the 7 boxes that they did, well, what they kept the stuff in until someone came and collected it, were all from Greg's. Now, we are going to do one of a couple of things. I will keep the price until the end, and we will go through the items, but I physically took them from the box and put them in the bag, so I actually know what some of the items are. So with that, we can count the items. I can say right now that the value is definitely there, and this is technically, in my eyes, a really good bag versus any of the other ones, which we'll bring up later on if my brain can remember that. So with that, we have 3 long bread bun things, because these ones are white ones. They're firm, not crispy hard, you know. So 3 long. They're like a French stick, but they're only this long. Did I have a tape measure? Sure, I had a tape measure somewhere nearby. One tape measure. So these are about 10.5 inches in length. So just so you have the rough idea of the size. 1 pack. We have another pack. This one has 2 in. These ones are more browner. Those ones were white. These ones are nearer to 11, but they're more of a, they look darker because they're actually more of a brown, slightly wholemeal-y type one rather than the white one. So 2 of them, so that's 5 bread buns. What we have is we have 1 sandwich, all with the Greg's name on the back. That's what this is, just in case you may not be able to focus. This is honey roast ham and egg salad roll, which looks like it has, not like the iceberg lettuce, but it has the other type lettuce in it. Yeah, slices of egg and slices of tomato in it. So looks much nicer than a Costa sandwich, which don't seem to have very much in them. That's just me putting down Costa, but there is a reason. What's next? What have we got here? we have another. As you can see, this looks like ham. This is just a honey roast ham salad baguette. So it's as long as the rolls that we've just had. Just about. There looks like there is 3 slices of ham in it. There's one there, and one there, covering the whole length. I don't know where the salad is, because all I can see is just ham, but it's been folded so it's like full slices, which I don't know, because since you don't put the prices on them, then you don't really know. But one ham baguette. We have another one. Is this the same? This one's roast chicken. So I do like it when people start thinking about how much of the single item they put in your bag. Now, this one is roast chicken mayonnaise baguette. So this has a lot more mayo in it. It's a more mixed with the mayonnaise, that the chicken's been sliced into more of the mayonnaise, so you don't see. So it's a bit like when you get the tuna and it's in the thing. It's more like that rather than slices with the mayo on it. It's like mixed in with it. So that's the same length, which is about 11. That's in a more whiter bread. Right, from there we have put in this blue bag, which obviously is not how it came. So this came, it could be mince or it could be steak and thingy, but it has got a dark gravy in it. So it is some meat pie of some description, and unless I cut it open I won't know what. But since it has a dark gravy, it will be either mince or steak and kidney, I would have assumed. I might have that for something tomorrow. Although I'm going to have a sandwich. Just saying that I might actually eat a little better for a couple of days. Right. We have 4 of these shortcake. We've got a double shortcake with I would say a raspberry jam in it, with a half of a cherry, a glacier cherry on it. They are quite thin. Since this one has actually deformed itself since it went in the bag, it's gone over the top of the thing. See how it's gone over the top? So they were obviously still warm when they got put together, because it's curved around now. But I do like this type. So what else do we have? When I put these in the bag, I was wondering if I was going to be told what they were. There is 2 pasties. Now, take it that the V grooves will have to denote something of what they are, but there's nothing seeping out of any of the sides, so I can't tell what they are. I have 2 unknown pasties with a V shape on them, which would say what it was. Because normally when you get pasties, the shape of what's on top of the pasty and how it's been grooved tells you what the pasty is, or what is inside it, because they put different design on the top, so you know it's a different item, so they don't get mixed up when they're on the shelf and you know which one's which. Without me physically cutting these open, I have no idea, because there is no label, there's nothing stuck on them to say what they are, so I don't know what they are. But I know these have a value of like £3, but they're not worth £3. For me, they have about a value of about £1. So, but I have 2 of them, so, and that pie's probably like £3 as well. But I wouldn't pay that. I'd rather go to Morrison's and buy 2 pies, which is now immensely rare that I do that, because I try to wait until they come down in price and then I'll get them. If they're reduced, I will get them. I did get 2 pies, like I think it was 2 weeks ago, and they'd been reduced to £1 for 2 of them, so I was there. Them were mine. Right, so what else do we have? We're not done. We're not done. This bag goes on a little more. We have the 3 bread buns, 5 empty bread buns, the 3 sandwiches, pie, pasty and cake. So we are at 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 8 items so far, which is twice as much as what you would normally get in a standard Greggs one, which because they normally give you 4 items in the same way as Dixon's, Costa, Copeland. They have very similar that you normally end up with about 4 items. So what we have, I think this has cheese on it. It looks a bit like cheese. We have what looks like half a stotty, and it's cheese and onion. So, yes, I don't know if I could eat that much cheese, but I know someone I can give it to. Because I don't think I'm, well, one, I don't think I can get through all these sandwiches, and this one is going to take a lot of work. It's half a stotty. I have no idea the cost on this, but once again, I would heather a guess that it's in the £3 mark. Probably £3.50 type thing, but I wouldn't pay that. It's only a bloody stotty, and normally it depends on how much it's got in. Because I have been immensely disappointed with some of Costa for what you're paying for what it is and how much stuff you're getting. Right, well, I seem to have 2 more unknown pasties. Now, as I said, the shape denotes what's in it. This one has things across, and this one has like little, tiny little lines between it. You see, there you are, you can see that, you see. So, this one has gravy. Well, it has a dark substance right here. So, that one can be mince. That one could be something like a chicken type one. But, I don't know. I don't know what shapes belong to what item. Once again, there is no prices, but 2 more pasties. And once again, to find out what the hell's in them, I would have to cut them open. And if you can tell, because sometimes Greggs don't put a lot of stuff in it, so therefore you may still not know what it is. So another 2 pasties. So right now I am seeing quite a few meals I can have. I can do the pie and do some chips. I've got 2 pasties. I could eat both of them and not bother with any veg at all. So what else do we have? We have 4 sausage rolls, which are the standard buy 3 get 1 free rubbish, because these are like £3.85, I think, what I've seen in things. I don't see the value of being that. They're not worth that much. You know, I can go into Copeland, and yes, they are a little smaller now, but I can get them for £1.35 for 4. Why would I technically want to spend £3 on them? You know, I don't see them as being valued. So I would class these as being more like £2 for the lot, and that's equal in the price more of what Morrison's do for their sausage rolls, which I prefer Morrison's pastry, and their sausage rolls taste really nice. So, but I have 4 sausage. My daughter will like them. So my sandwich is trying to bugger off. So we have 2 of these. This is Bill and Ben, and there are gingerbread men. There's like 2 of them, and they have I take it it's chocolate flavoured, hand created with chocolate flavoured buttons. And I'm sure you've got something in the middle. Normally it's a jam or some syrup type stuff. But this one's got the ingredients on the back of what's in it. Well, once again, 2. They're probably over £1. And sorry, but I can't see them at £1. They're only a biscuit. You know, I'd rather buy a packet of biscuits for 50 pence, which you can get, than to buy that. Because all it is technically just a ginger biscuit made to look like a man with buttons. Who cares? It's a biscuit. So 2 of those. So as you see, we are clocking up quite a bit here, and there's still a little bit more here. Something which I like. Right, we have white chocolate cookies, a pack of 4. These once again, they're over £2, aren't they? £2.250 for a pack of 4, because you have some ridiculous, you know, like a cookie and it's 80 pence or something. Really. You can buy these packs of cookies in the supermarkets. There's not a lot of difference. So, but these do have a nice colour to them. You haven't overdone them and burnt them to hell. These ones are white chocolate, which I don't care if what chocolate's in it. I will have them. So these are quite thick, so not bad, but I bet you that we won't like the price if we find out how much a pack of 4 of them are in Greggs. But one of those. We have 2 more items left. We'll start with the lowest value item that I would say. We have a box with 2 glazed ring donuts in, as you see. The box is probably worth more than what the cost of physically making these donuts costs in material. All of this is actually fresh today. They got the Greggs donation this morning, and that's what made up these boxes. So these are actually from today. They're not from last night or whatever they had left. I don't know how they would have this much, because they could make up quite a lot of bags themselves, but they give them to this charity. So 2 donuts. I like donuts. Duh. I'm Homer Simpson's twin brother. No, I'm not really. He's much fatter than I am. Well, now he is. And the last item. 2 triple chocolate muffins, and if you think I don't like these, then you're mad. Because I like these, yeah. So I have 2 of them. Probably they're what, £3, £3.50 for 2. Once again, still not worth it, you know. So how many items did we get? We have 3 sandwiches. We've got 2 bags of the buns. That's 5 items. The sausage rolls, that's 6. The stotty, that's 7. 1 pie, that's 8. 2 lots of different, well, not all different, but different pastries. So that's 9 and 10. We have the shortbread cakes, the pack of 4. That's 11. 2 gingerbreads, that's 12 and 13 because they're separate. 1 donuts, that's 14, yeah. And 1 muffin, that's 15 items. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 16. I've got 16 items. How did I get 16? Well, I've got 16 items. Put this way, even Greggs at their best and charging the $2.59, normally you don't get more than 5 items. Normally it's some sausage rolls and a cake and maybe some bread buns. So 4 to 5 items, that's normally what you would get for it. That seems to be what you get when you go to Costa. They give you 4 items, and as I said, the Costa one has been a big disappointment for how much they charge. One item that we got in one of our bags, that me and my sister got 1 each, and I had to give her an item from mine because I didn't like it, and she gave me an item from hers, so our bags came out. She doesn't like tuna, I like tuna, but the amount of tuna physically in the sandwich is, I tasted the cheese, I couldn't taste the tuna. There was so little of it. Yet I had I'm sure I put it up that I did a Dixon's one and I had a tuna sandwich, and that tuna sandwich had tuna in it. It was soft and moist. The Costa one was dry. There was hardly any tuna in it. It had hardly any depth. The cheese on the top had all the flavour that I didn't even know it was tuna. It could have just been a cheese sandwich but it was immensely dry. It took ages to eat. And one of the other things that we got, which apparently is something like £2.50 or £2.45, was a jam sandwich. 2 slices of bread with some jam in it. How stupid are people to pay £2 odd for 2 slices of bread with some jam? You could have went to the supermarket, because there was no butter in it, it was just jam. Buy a 39p jar of jam and a loaf of bread, and then just spread that on it, and then good to go. But there was nothing in it. The Costa sandwiches have hardly anything in them. You know, there was one which was ham and cheese, 1 slice of ham, 1 slice of cheese, one so-called butter, if you could call it that, because it was invisible. But once again, fairly dry and quite a disappointment. Over Costa and the ones that we've had, this bag with 15 items of things which I can make meals from for more than one day. I'm going to have the pie. I've got the pasties, which, even if I have 2, then that's a little more filling for me. So that could be one each. I've got 3 different sandwiches. So I could have a sandwich and a pie or a pasty later on. And then I would technically be having 2 meals, which is unusual. But there looks more in the sandwich, that let's just say. But they're not worth the £3 some of them these sandwiches cost. I don't know the prices completely of Greggs, because I never shop in Greggs, other than I know the price of the sausage rolls because they advertise it when you walk past, 3 for 2, and then it was £3.85. So I know the price of the sausage rolls. Everything else I don't know the prices of. But the muffins could be like £1.50 each, and they're certainly not worth that, because I'd rather buy a cake for £1. But as we say, we can make up. We've got 3 bread buns with items in, and ham. The chicken one would have to be the first one, because it's a creamy and chicken. It's got more moisture and more things that would go bad. The rest of them are fairly dry. So I would say probably the ham with the salad on the first one we've seen. That might have to be done first, because the lettuce might go a little off. The second one, I don't see very much salad in it, but it does look like it's got a bit more meat in it, but only 3 slices. So just go in the shop, buy one of them. Go into Aldi, buy a pack of cold meats. Cut this in half, shove your meat in. All done, because it'll be as dry as what the rest of them are. But nowhere near. As we said, the cheese study, that will go to someone else, because I think the cheese will be too much for us. If I eat too much cheese, it makes me feel sick. So I can't eat a cheese and onion like what you get from the fish and chip shop when they have the batter over it. I can't eat that. It's too much cheese. I feel sick. So the cakes, the cookies they're going to last at least a week. I don't need to worry about them. The donuts might go hard at first. The gingerbread men will last, and so will the other thing, because they're not really cream. But the thing comes is that I have a number of days worth of meals, and since I have a low daily food budget, then I am going to have enough meals, I would think, for at least 3 days without even using these, which, if any of them are really hard, I do have some soup, and they would probably go really well, one of them with some soup, and there's another meal, and it would be filling. So I have main snack, main teas, cakes for pudding, all good. And these 15 items, 15, or was it 16? Well, if we go 15, that's easier on price. So if we say I have 15 items here, 15 items, and this bag cost me £3. Now, £3, 15 items, that is 20 pence an item. Hey, my brain worked. That's about 20 pence an item. So, are we happy with each of these items being worth 20p? Yeah, I am pretty happy. The sausage rolls really aren't that impressive, you know. The pasties being 20 pence for two of them, that's 10 pence each. You know, the muffins being 20 pence for two of them, 10 pence each. The cookies being 20 pence, there's four of them, that's 5 pence each. When you look at stuff that way, you then say, well, that's better. So when we divide stuff and saying, I'm going to have maybe this sandwich for dinner, this pie for tea, maybe do some chips, that might be like 10 pence worth of value of potatoes, then I have spent 20, 40, and 10 pence worth, 50 pence on a day's meal, you know. So that's what you have to look at. So yes, I know this video has gone a long way, but there was a lot in this bag. Would I buy this again? Hell yes. In a heartbeat, I would buy this again, and hopefully that it will have as good a stuff as this, and not just be full of bread buns, which you could get from Morrison's, a whole bag of bread buns or bread, and you'll never get through because you've got nothing to put in it. So, value, yeah. Does this stuff look nice? Yeah. Am I going to be very full after eating this? Yeah. Because, physically speaking, for £3, that's enough to say that's 2 days worth of my budget. I could eat all of this stuff in 2 days, and I tell you I'd be full. I don't know how I couldn't be full, since my food intake's dropped there, but I definitely think if I ate all of this in 2 days, then I would be immensely satisfied, and that would be unusual. So, please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell for your notifications. I will see you once again on another video, hopefully soon, and hopefully I can be motivated for it, and cheerful. No. Bye for now.